managing director for SIC, a State Insurance Corporation. President Mahama so wajinedi, but Mahama say onko obetina ho. President Mahama yi Mahama di no, or the papa bi a friend James Ajeni Mbuatin, on the in charge of Radio Good, on the managing director ma Radio Good, and also onko replaces Mahama no, ewo SIC. Papa ni kopie ho a James Ajeni Mbuatin kopie ho a Mahama a friend Hollister yentumi dua atukunim aloke puni nyina etisafo na dwane me say obi amre no momientie full details no Radio Good for the tuja
angry. I was like, what is this?
You were not angry.
And you know, you see, the question I asked myself, it's a simple question. Do you need people to come and give you key? I was wondering, please, to be very frank. And boss, if anybody listening to us, explain to me. Nanado is gone. So is everything that Nanado did.
It's gone.
He's supposed to carry everything with him. People are still sitting in office, trying to justify why they deserve to still be in the office. Like as if when they were employing them, they advertised. Everybody applied, and they were the best candidates. They forgot that they were just somebody took somebody to somewhere, and then they went to lobby, and then they held their hand that they were not the best qualified persons for the job. That they are there because of favor. That they are not there because they were the best qualified persons for the job. So I was asking myself a simple question. The lock, can't it be broken? No, because
metallic lock.
No, because I thought about it for a long time.
You wanted to
you recall what Nanado said? I will not hand over to the person I beat twice.
Yeah.
Remember what he said? When the time came for President Mahama to be sworn in, did they go and ask Nana, where is the key to the Jubilee House? Was he not the one opening the doors and say, come and see the place and see if it is in good shape? If that was how Nana asked
the conference room.
If Nana himself,
this is your bedroom.
Nana Kufuado, who everybody thought, because the way people revered, not revered, people were afraid of Nanado and the kind of character they believed he was. And then Nana lost, Baumia lost the election. Nana was the one who is saying, Mama, bro, he understood
the times.
So I was so surprised.
You. What is it? So no one said.
Oh no, also no.
There's something we say.
So I still, to be very frank, I still don't understand the story, and I still don't get.
Okay, if you don't understand the story, Nancy will read. Please, Nancy will read the entire story.
Not that I haven't read the story, but I don't
benefit of those.
You don't understand the whole situation.
So read again, maybe he will understand this time.
Oh, as for the story there we have spoken about it.
For the benefit of those who are hearing.
Okay, so now. Let me start from the headline. Sacked SIC MD refuses to hand over, locks up office and bolts with keys.
Thank you.
Now, the immediate past managing director of SIC Insurance Company Limited, Ms. Hollister Dia Yentumi, has refused to hand over to the newly appointed acting MD, Mr. James Ajeni Mbuatin, weeks after his appointment by President John Dramani Mahama. Now, checks by this paper reveal that the former MD has not only refused to hand over, but has also locked up the offices of the MD of SIC Insurance Company Limited, where the newly appointed MD is supposed to be operating from, and bolted with the office keys. Now, President John Dramani Mahama on Friday 24th January appointed Mr. Ajeni Mbuatin as acting MD of SIC Insurance Company Limited, replacing Ms. Dia Yentumi, who was appointed by the SWAL MPP administration. Checks further reveal that on Thursday, January 30th, the new acting MD paid an official visit to the headquarters of the company to introduce himself to the management of SIC, but the former MD refused to attend the meeting. In many institutions, such meetings have been used by both the outgoing and the incoming chief executive officers to effect the transition and ensure a smooth handing over of administration. But the situation as SIC Insurance Company Limited has been remarkably different, as the outgone MD has refused to be part of the transition. She has also failed to present handing over notes, quite apart from locking up the MD's offices and keeping the keys to herself. Some staff of the company have expressed shock over the attitude of the former MD, describing it as a shameful one. Quote, "We are under the Ministry of Finance, and the minister has officially communicated the appointment of Mr. James Ejenim Boateng to our new MD, and I don't see why the former MD should refuse to hand over to him. Like our new MD, who has been appointed by the current administration, Ms. Duyayentumi was also appointed by the former MPP government, and as there is a change in government, everybody here knows that there will be changes in the management of the company. So what is she holding on to? It's a shame, and she has to immediately hand over to him," end quote. Anonymous staff of the company said. According to the anonymous staff, the delay in the handing over is giving a negative impact on the operations of the company, and it is imperative that she quickly hands over to Mr. Ejenim Boateng for him to start the implementation of his vision for the state-owned insurance company. So basically, that is the story. Mami no, atudo ni mu. Say key no, position no, forever. Say George,
it has been won to her forever.
Forever. Appointments.
So she will
forever.
And I understand she followed it up with filing for an injunction in court.
Yes.
Is that correct?
She did. She did.
Have you seen this thing? I haven't seen the.
Okay, so Senna, before we go into the court issues, I have in my hands a letter from the office of the president, dated 18 December 2023. Headline, okay, appointment as managing director for SIC Insurance Company Limited. The president has nominated Miss Hollister Duyayentumi for appointment as the managing director of SIC Insurance Company Limited. Insurance Company Limited. Miss Duyayentumi's appointment should take effect from the 1st of January 2024. Kindly take the necessary steps to implement the said appointment in accordance with the Companies Act 2019, Act 992, and the regulations of the company. Attached to this letter is Mrs. Duyayentumi's curriculum vitae. Please accept the president's best wishes. Signed by Nana Bidietu Asante, Secretary to the President.
When was this letter?
18 December 2023.
So that's how she came into office.
18 December.
So she took over on the 1st of January 2024.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe she feels that she hasn't been there long.
Just a
long
year.
enough.
Into my main dick
Then she
man.
should have just called our boss and said, "Mommy, 3 months." It's a simple, straightforward matter. But why? Because clearly, if you were appointed this way, because when it happened like this, somebody lost their jobs.
Of course.
It means that there was somebody there.
There was somebody there
who was removed for you to come in.
Yes.
You cry. That was even the same party. This
Of course.
one, there's a different party that has gone. For Nanado to appoint you means that you have some attachment to Nanado and to the New Patriotic Party.
Yes.
NDC is here. Why do you think they'll keep you in office? Why?
Even
And then they have been appointed.
Who said he won't hand over power to somebody?
I told you that Nanado himself was the one who was saying, Mahama, bra.
A higher office.
You see, that's how it is.
Higher boardroom.
That's how it is.
Higher washroom.
When it happens like that, just leave quietly. Don't say a lot of things, because political office. If you feel that you're so qualified to run an insurance company, there are many.
She should apply to enterprise insurance.
Enterprise is there. I hear they are perhaps the biggest now.
Yes.
Yes. So enterprise is there. At least big. They'll pay you well.
Yeah.
So apply. And Kenofayata knows you.
Yeah.
Perhaps you work at SIC. He knows the capacity you brought to SIC. If you did well at SIC,
correct,
he would testify to that. The administration will testify to the fantastic work you did at SIC and give you enterprise to manage. But you see, this kind of things, sometimes when some people sit in political office, I don't know what the issue is. Nanado appointed you. Nanado is gone.
Then you feel
So
that you can stay.
This appointment letter I'm talking about, it was copied to office of the vice president. Then Baumia, who was the candidate who lost miserably.
Okay.
He is gone.
Yeah.
You are still
If you are Baumia's person, Baumia lost. Baumia himself hasn't said a word. It was yesterday that he posted that some UN people came to visit him. But before now, he hasn't said anything. So please, don't create problems for yourself.
I don't know who is advising him, but
of all
I
the
think
people you
that
can find problem with, don't find problem. Because you see, we are trained to be. No matter what names they call us, if you watch us, you realize that we are quite professional with what we do. We will be nice and come and do interviews here. But when you touch us, we will leave the interviews. We'll interview ourselves. So don't go there.
Okay. So let Nancy go into the court issue.
so the person advising her advised her to go to court. Make Jemu, they can't do anything, so go to court. And she also ran to court. So this is it. The suit. It says that in the Superior Court of Judicature,
Supreme Court,
in the High Court of Justice,
High Court, okay,
General Jurisdiction, Accra, AD 2025, between Hollister Dria Yebua, number 7 Cucumber Loop, East Legon, Accra, plaintiff or applicant, and SIC Insurance PLC, SIC Head Office Building, Nyemitei House, number 15 Ring Road, East Osu, Accra, first defendant or stroke respondent. Then James Ejenim Boating, Accra, second defendant or respondent. Now, notice of motion, application for an order of interlocutory injunction against defendants or respondents. Order 25 Rule 1 Clause 1 to 3 of okay. Take notice.
I want to listen.
Take notice that this honorable court shall be moved by E.N. Poku S.Y. counsel for and on behalf of the plaintiff, herein praying this honorable court for an order restraining the defendants herein as second defendants from acting or purporting to act as the managing director of the first defendant, which is SIC. And then B, defendants from describing or holding second defendant, which is James Ejenim Boating, out as the managing director of the first defendant, which is SIC.
Okay.
Upon the grounds deposed to in the affidavit in support of the application and any other order or orders that this honorable court deems fit. So 2 things.
So basically, what is the issue about?
She says that the court should grant an order that SIC should not purport James Ejenim Boating as their should not recognize James Ejenim Boating as their managing director.
And James should not
hold
himself out
as the managing director of SIC. Simple 2 things she's asking the court to do. That's all.
I see. Quite interesting. But I haven't read the grounds. I haven't heard the grounds. The grounds are not attached.
No.
You don't see the grounds.
No.
Okay. I want to because I want to understand the reasoning behind her going.
So you said that was in the affidavit.
Do you still have that? Who read the letter? The appointment letter.
Which one?
Her appointment letter.
It was with Eric.
Okay.
You want to?
So her appointment letter.
Her appointment letter was dated 18th December 2023.
Okay. Read what the appointment letter is. The letter comes from where?
From the office of the president.
Office of the president.
Signed by Nana Santibidie too.
So her appointor is the office of the president.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
So you want me to read
Yeah,
it?
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Appointment as managing director for SIC Insurance Company Limited. The president has nominated Miss Hollister Duayintumi for appointment as the managing director of SIC Insurance Company Limited. Miss Duayintumi's appointment should take effect from the 1st of January 2024. Kindly take the necessary steps to implement the said appointment in accordance with the Companies Act 2019 Act 992 and the regulations of the company. Attached to this letter is Mrs. Duayintumi's curriculum vitae. Please accept the president's best wishes. Signed, Nana Asante to Secretary to the President, copy to the Vice President, Jubilee House, the Chief of Staff, Jubilee House, and the Board Chairman, SIC Insurance Company Limited.
Who is that letter addressed to? There was no address.
Okay.
The top. Who is that?
It was addressed to the Honorable Minister for Finance.
Minister for Finance.
Yes.
Okay. So the
And it was
appointment was
attention
made.
Honorable Kenufuriata.
So the appointment was made at the Jubilee House.
Yes.
And it is supposed to be implemented by the Minister for Finance.
Yes.
And it looks like he has no say in the matter.
Yes.
Because they said he should what? I think there's a word they use. They said there's a word they use that he should do something. He is directed to do something in particular. Implement the appointment in accordance of the company's rules and everything.
Yes.
So it means that he had no say in the matter. There was a directive to the minister to do this. So this was not done with you saying, there was no assessment done of you. I mean, the minister doesn't even have the authority to assess you, whether you were whatever you were. He doesn't have that authority to do an assessment. Just implement it. Okay. So the same office of the president, office of the president writes a letter, just like the letter was written when somebody was in office, that they kicked the person out and said that you should take over. The same office of the president writes a letter and says that this time around, you two go.
We are bringing
somebody else. You're saying that she has won. She's locked up the office.
Yeah.
She's decided not to even meet the person.
His father's property.
To hand over.
Because from what I've seen,
and then has taken the matter to court.
A lot of the new people who have been appointed, they go to the places they have been appointed to, their new offices, and they meet the outgoing directors, and they do a nice handing over ceremony.
Handing over. Yes.
But this one, she says no.
She says she's not going anywhere. No.
And she has gone to court on top of that. But now let me shock you.
Yeah.
I am told from my checks that on December 17th, after the elections, this Duayintumi woman was able to get the board of SIC to extend her appointment to January 2028.
The board extended.
Yes.
December when?
December 17th.
That's after election.
After the elections.
December 17th.
Yeah.
The board extended her appointment to
January 2028.
2028. So the board did not appoint her.
No.
But the board can extend the appointment.
Yes.
Fantastic. So the board. So what if the same board extended the appointment? Okay. So let me ask a few questions. Let's be very frank with ourselves. If Bawumia had not lost the elections, this is 17th.
Yeah.
After Bawumia had lost the elections, everybody knew where power was going to. If Bawumia had not lost the election, would that board have the guts to extend her appointment without recourse to the presidency?
Office of the president.
Not knowing what the Jubilee House had in mind.
Yeah.
So when they
or
did
the new
that,
finance minister.
When they did that, that board, are they still in place?
That is the question.
Is the board still in place?
So the board also have questions to answer.
Would they be there perpetually? If you had the authority to appoint, why did the office of the president appoint? And on what basis were you extending an appointment to an office where the appointment usually emanates from the office of the president?
When the one who appointed the person
has
lost an election.
17 December, 7 days, a week, let's say 10 days after the elections. The board that was in place then.
I'm sure they are still there.
Extended this woman's appointment to January 2028.
Yeah.
Simple. Okay. That's an interesting one. Anyway,